Chapter 1 Season 2 was an incredibly significant era of Fortnite, as it introduced a ton of concepts that would later go on to shape the game's identity. It introduced us to Tilted Towers, a point of interest that became so iconic that it was eventually brought back a few years later during Chapter 3 Season 1. It introduced us to the Battle Pass, the tier-based system that rewards players with skins and other cosmetics in exchange for experience points. It was also the first season to introduce the concept of seasons having specific themes. In Chapter 1, Season 2's case, the season revolved around the idea of knights and medieval times. From that point on, every season of Fortnite had a specific theme that influenced things like the Battle Pass rewards, the loot pool, points of interest, and most importantly for this video, collaborations. Whether it be Aquaman being included in a season based around a flooded island, Rick Sanchez being included in an alien invasion themed season, or Lara Croft being featured in an era of Fortnite that went primal, collaborations used to synergize really well with the seasons they were added in. Keywords being used to, because recent seasons of Fortnite have greatly neglected this sort of thing. And as someone who joined Fortnite because of its crossover potential, it's really upsetting to me to see this sort of thing not being properly utilized anymore. Which is why in today's video, I'm going to be looking back at Fortnite's past as well as its present to determine what worked and what didn't work in terms of collaborations synergizing with the seasons they were added in. I'm going to split this video into 3 separate sections. The good, where I'll go over an example of a proper season's collaborations. The bad, where I'll go over a poor, yet still slightly redeemable season and their collaborations. And the ugly, where I'll go over a season that absolutely failed to properly synergize with its collaborations. But before I do all of that, I want to make it clear that at the end of the day, the actual skins and cosmetic items that come with a collaboration are what matter the most. If a cool skin is a cool skin, I couldn't care less about which season it's released in. I also don't want to give Epic Games too much of a hard time. According to the author of the Mistborn series, it took around 5 to 6 months for his collaboration to be put into the game. I imagine a similar time frame, if not longer, happens with every other collaboration. So if a crossover doesn't necessarily fit with the season's theme, it might just be down to the development side of things. So, yeah, this video isn't supposed to be some sort of moral grandstand. It's just me going over what does and doesn't work regarding when collaborations are released. Before we start this video, however, I want you guys to comment below what your favorite Fortnite collaboration of all time is. But enough rambling. It's time we dive deep into my analysis of Fortnite crossovers and seasonal synergy. Starting out with...
So, what are you waiting for? The hunt is on.
So, for the first section of this video, we're going to be talking about a season where nearly every single crossover hit the mark when it came to synergizing with the theme of said season. In this instance, we're going to be talking about Chapter 2, Season 5, due to its heavy reliance on crossover franchises making up the bulk of the season's content and narrative. For those of you who weren't around at the time or need a refresher, Chapter 2 Season 5 began as a result of the events that took place during the Devourer of Worlds event. With the 0 point now exposed as a result of Galactus' actions, Agent Jones was tasked with making sure that no one escaped the loop. In order to accomplish this goal, he set off to countless different realities, recruiting the best bounty hunters, warriors, and survivalists he could find. While there were a good handful of original Fortnite characters created specifically for this season, the majority of the bounty hunters and what have you added around this time were crossover characters. This included the likes of the Mandalorian from Star Wars, Master Chief from Halo, Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, the Predator from, well, the Predator, and so much more. And well, the reason why I think this season synergized with its collaboration so well is because Epic Games' planning made it so that each and every collaboration featured in this season fit the vibe they were trying to go for. As we previously established, The process of securing the rights to and actually making the collaboration skins is around 5 to 6 months, if not longer. That means that in the 5 to 6 months leading up to Chapter 2 Season 5, Epic made it a priority to obtain the rights to characters that fit very specific archetypes. Those character archetypes being bounty hunters, warriors, and survivalists. I'll go into more detail about how the planning/development phase of certain collaborations can lead to bad seasonal synergy later, but basically the TLDR portion of this video is that all the collaborations featured in this season were all planned out ahead of time, rather than just being afterthoughts. Well, except for the Flash and Ant-Man. They're kind of stretches when it comes to this season's theme. The Flash I can kind of accept because he's a multiverse traveling superhero, but Ant-Man, I mean, yeah, he fights bad guys, but I wouldn't necessarily classify him as a warrior or anything. Anyways, that's gonna do it for the good portion of this video. I know it was rather quick, but there's only so many ways I can say Epic Games planned things out really well before I start to sound like a broken record. Next up, we'll be looking at an example of a season that failed to properly synergize with its collaborations. The season in question is... Following the war between the Imagined Order and the Seven, the world of Fortnite was treated to an entire season themed around summer relaxation, partying, and overall, just having a good time. I'm of course talking about Chapter 3 Season 3, an era of Fortnite that was, and still is, pretty unique in terms of its theme. Summer relaxation, partying, and having fun. What kind of collaborations could spawn from these concepts? Perhaps skins based on celebrities, or social media influencers, or musicians? Oh. Let me begin this section of the video by saying this. I didn't hate a single collaboration that was released during this season. Two of my favorite skins in the game, Darth Vader and Indiana Jones, came from this season. Not to mention, we got the fucking Among Us collab in this season. But with that being said, like 90% of the collabs featured here didn't fit the theme of the season in any way, shape, or form. Like, seriously, what part of Darth Vader says summer relaxation? What part of Indiana Jones says partying? What part of Destiny 2 says having a good time? There's no good time to be had with Destiny 2. Now, for some of these collaborations, I know exactly why they were added. It's because Fortnite is an advertising machine. Darth Vader was added during this season to coincide with the release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney+. The Destiny skins were added to celebrate Destiny 2 being added to the Epic Games Store. Thor and Mighty Thor were added to promote the then upcoming Thor Love and Thunder. So, like I said, I get why these skins were added during this specific season. It doesn't change the fact that they don't fit the theme of the season at all, but I get it. Honestly, out of all the Chapter 3 Season 3 collaborations, the only two that actually had a passing resemblance to the established theme were John Cena and Patrick Mahomes. You can easily make a party out of watching WWE or football games with your friends and family. Okay, I know that might be a bit of a stretch, but it's literally all I have, so give me a break. It's pretty clear that the same amount of planning that went in Chapter 2 Season 5's collaborations was thrown out the window by Epic Games this time around. Instead, Chapter 3 Season 3 focused more on advertising other properties. Honestly, I don't have an issue with that. I just wish it wasn't so blatantly obvious, you know? But, at the very least, Chapter 3 Season 3 had some collaborations that match the theme of the season. I can't say the same thing about the next season on this list. A while ago, I made a video going over 5 heist-themed collaborations that I thought would be perfect for Chapter 4, Season 4. The list included the likes of Joker from Persona 5, James Bond, and most importantly, the Payday Gang. At the time, I was so confident that the Payday Gang was going to be added to this heist-themed season of Fortnite that I said this. I guess you could say I'm so confident in my prediction that I'd be willing to bet money on it. Well, at the time of me writing the script for this video, there's about 2 weeks left until Chapter 4 Season 4 ends. So unless some sort of cosmic miracle happens, the Payday Gang ain't being added. And, well, that's a real bummer. Like, you have this season entirely dedicated to espionage and robbery, but you don't include a group of characters from a series where you break into and rob banks. You instead add a TikTok celebrity, a Jedi, anime superheroes, and shape-shifting robots. Alright, I need to rant about this for a second. What the hell are these crossovers? Not a single one of them added during this season had anything to do with the idea of heisting. At least Chapter 3 Season 3 had some skins related to the theme of the season, but here, absolutely nothing. Now look, I love Ahsoka to death, and I know why she's here, but she still doesn't fit the theme of the season at all. The My Hero Academia skins are fine, but you're adding superheroes to a season all about robbing people. Only villains do that. Why include Bumblebee, Megatron, and Battle Bus in this season and not the last one? Were they not part of the deal that got us Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal? And don't even get me started on Kabe Lame. What is Blood doing here? Is it because he doesn't talk in any of his TikToks, and therefore he's quiet, meaning he won't trip any alarms? Because if that's the case, might as well add fucking Gordon Freeman or Link, since they don't talk either. You know, I really shouldn't be so hard on Chapter 4 Season 4 specifically. This issue of collaborations not really matching up with the theme of a season has honestly been plaguing Fortnite for a while now. I'd say as far back as the beginning of Chapter 3, it only got really noticeable with the release of Chapter 4, however. Seriously, not including any Cyberpunk-themed collaborations in the Cyberpunk-themed season? What a joke. I honestly don't know why Epic Games has been neglecting this once great Fortnite quirk. So if you're expecting me to give you an answer for why this is, you're gonna be disappointed. We can only really speculate why the collaborations haven't been properly synergizing with the themes of seasons. Maybe it's due to Epic shifting their attention away from Battle Royale in exchange for creative. Maybe collab skins just don't sell that well anymore. Or maybe it's just as simple as this synchronization not being high up on Epic's priority list. Like I said, I don't know. I also don't know what the future holds for collaborations synergizing with the themes of a season. Personally, I don't think that the days of Chapter 2 Season 5 have to be behind us. But at the end of the day, it's ultimately up to Epic to decide whether or not they should plan for their collaborations to synchronize with the upcoming season's themes. And if they decide to go down the Chapter 3 Season 3 route, or, God forbid, the Chapter 4 Season 4 route, then, oh well. I'll try to adapt to it. I may not like it, but like I said at the beginning of the video, at the end of the day, a cool skin is a cool skin. But with that being said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thank you for watching. Did you guys agree or disagree with any of the points in this video? If so, let me know your thoughts on the subject down below in the comments. If you like this video and want to see more Fortnite or crossover-based content in the future, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. That's going to be it from me, so until next time, I'll see you in the next one.